Hello, welcome to this live session. It is great to see you all, and it is great that you join us today. Thank you very much for being here. Good morning, good evening, and good night to where you are joining us from. Thank you for being part of this great project. We are more than happy to see you sharing our content with your friends and colleagues and reading your comments about this great mission, which is to raise awareness about the scope of classical homeopathy. Our main purpose with this series of interviews is to share what homeopathy has brought to our lives in terms of teachings, life experiences, personal growth, and of course, professional success. This interview has been eagerly expected by many people. We have received messages and warm comments for her on Instagram and social networks. People loves her. She is the presenter of the IACH team in the webinars. Now I have the privilege of presenting her and being able to interview her. She is a very beloved and respected homeopath in India and in the homeopathic worldwide community in general. She is an excellent homeopath, a woman who is very committed to classical homeopathy, and of course, a woman with a very kind soul. She is the moderator of the e-learning program for English-speaking students because the program is offered in 12 languages. So we have moderators in all languages, and we hope to see you all here soon. And I invite you to participate in the comments down below in the chat box. And we are very happy to give a very warm welcome to dear Dr. Latika Jaggi. So,
Thank you, my dear friend. I'm really touched. You spoke so many beautiful words for me. I hope I am eligible for that. But everything is because of teachings of George and our teacher. So I would only say that thank you so much. And before uh, I also want to say thank you to my teacher, Professor Vithoulkas, and the director of the academy, Miss Maria Corianopoulos, and also you, my dear friend, Fair, who is really contributing a lot to spread
thank you.
awareness with classical homeopathy. So, thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Latika. I just would like to keenly ask to the people if the audio is okay, if they can write in the chat. If everything sounds good, Kili, let me know before we start with this great interview. Okay. So, can you hear me fine?
Yes. To
Okay.
me, I'm
Okay.
okay. Yes.
Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank
Very
you,
good.
Maria. Thank you.
Okay. So, Latika, how do you feel? How are you?
I am very happy to, first of all, I'm very happy, but on the other side, I'm also shy and a little anxious because this is the first interview and that too live. So I also want all the participants who are attending this interview to forgive me if I, make any mistake. So that's it. It's a mix of feelings. I'll try my best to share my feelings and experience, whatever I have gathered. So let us start. Okay.
Okay, no, you won't make any mistake. Don't worry. You will do it great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your encouragement. Yes.
Okay, so we are going to start with this interview, and we are going to begin with the questions. We received some questions from the people in Instagram, and we did this mixture of questions. So I would like to start with the first question, that it is what motivated you to study homeopathy from the very beginning when you were a student. How was that time?
So, my first contact in homeopathy was in the year 1992 when I finished my high school. But honestly, I would say honestly here that homeopathy was not my first option.
Okay.
So after finishing my high school, I was preparing for medical entrance examinations for medical universities,
Okay.
and as I did not clear those examinations, so I homeopathy was my second option to choose a homeopathic college in India.
Okay.
So it I would say that it was by chance, you see, not by my choice. But there's a but here, that it turned out to be a blessing in disguise, you see. uh, because homeopathy, I will talk more, of course, but homeopathy mm, changed everything
Yes.
from
Yes.
from that year onwards. Yes.
Yes, yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. And what was your feeling or experiences when you started studying it? What was going on with you at that time? How did you feel about all this new information that was in your life?
Yes. So when I started, as I said, becoming a doctor was, the name doctor in front of you, your name. It was
Mhm.
more of an enthusiasm, that experience, not the experience to get that title in front of your name was. So while we were studying in our homeopathic college, the more focus was on the medical subjects like anatomy, physiology, pathology, medicine, surgery, preventive and social medicine. So there were many subjects, because in India, you see, it is a 5.5 year course for bachelor, and we get the degree of bachelor in homeopathic medicine and surgery. So we
Mhm.
have to study exactly more or less same as medical students. So there was a lot to do with regard to the medical subjects, and homeopathic subjects were aligned together each year, but you see, the focus was more there, and the enthusiasm towards homeopathy was lacking
Yes.
in the college. And I was not able to absorb any real knowledge, and to see the treatment, the effect of the treatment, the power of homeopathy, I was not aware at all. But again, there is a but, sorry for my buts. so so first, as I said, it is a blessing, so you will hear all my blessings. So
Mhm.
I met, first of all, my husband, Dr. Atul Jaggi, in my college. So we got connected immediately, and he was the one who had read Science of Homeopathy in our college library, and he was very passionate and keen to meet Professor Vithoulkas in the year 1996. I'm
Oh.
talking. At that time, he was very fortunate that he could get admission in the International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, which was starting the first course of where Professor Vithoulkas was starting a 4 year course of diploma of the academy.
Whoa.
So this e-learning course, actually, which the whole world now watches and has the privilege to watch, is the video recordings of the same 4 year course, which was held from 1996 till the year 2000.
Mhm.
So when he went there, and he came back. We used to, and we were connected, we were in love, so we were discussing and we were studying together, and from here I got connected with the academy and Professor Vithoulkas.
Wow.
And then something very and then something, I'm excited now to share, so please please
That is
please
great.
so please so please allow me just 2 more minutes on this question. So after marriage, in India we were allowed to go. Now before marriage I was not allowed to go, so after marriage I went with my husband to International Academy of Classical Homeopathy in the year 2000. And there, for the first time, I saw the teachings of George, and there was such a big influence of his teachings on us. And then God gave us another blessing, that we had an opportunity. We requested Professor Vithoulkas, and he allowed us to stay with him for 2 continuous years, in the year 2000 and 2001, where we were
Wow.
staying with him, not only learning about homeopathy, we were learning about every aspect of life.
Oh, yes, yes, I can
So
imagine.
yeah, so
Yeah.
so I always say, not me, my husband, both of us say that those were the 2 best years of our life, because
Oh,
from there on everything changed. And
oh.
then another gift happened. It was our son, where you know him, Kush. I conceived Kush there in Alonissos, so that was another blessing.
Uh-huh.
So homeopathy, you see, gave me so much, so much. That is what I wanted to share. So much.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Thank you for sharing with us these great experiences, these emotional aspects of your life. Let me just, I think that I cannot hear you very well. I am going to use a device to put me on right now. Just give me 1 second to put it so I can
But
hear you better.
okay, sure. But do you think the audio, my audio is clear?
Yeah, your audio is clear. I think that there is a kind of thing with the audio right now with my computer, but I am going to use my devices. Let me just connect them.
No problem. It's
Okay.
okay.
So
Okay.
right now I have them.
Yes. Great.
Okay, can you hear me fine?
Yes. Absolutely
Okay,
fine. Yes.
perfect, perfect. Okay, so thank you very much for sharing with us these emotional aspects of your life. We also would love to know some of your achievements as homeopath. I know that you have a lot of achievements as homeopath, but maybe you can share with us some of them.
Achievement as homeopath. I think.
Uh-huh.
I think to be blessed with homeopathy is an achievement, not only for me, for everybody. And every cure we see, whether it is whether it is in an acute disease, or while we are treating a chronic disease, whenever we see the cures happening, it is again something which is coming from divine, from homeopathy. The miraculous cures are happening because of homeopathy. I always say that homeopathy, it's achievement of homeopathy, not an achievement of a homeopath, because there are many times that homeopath can fail. In India, it's a very famous line. Homeopath can fail, but homeopathy can never fail. So this is what I think, that as achievement of homeopathy is should be kept prior and not as an achievement of homeopath, because we are human beings and we can falter many times. But but here I want to mention that the biggest achievement I feel is that very soon when we became homeopath, I realized that our purpose of life, me and my husband, whenever I say our, is because we both are connected and started our journey together. So our purpose of life, very soon we realized that we have to connect all the students, whoever will come in contact with us, with the teachings of Professor Vithoulkas. So this mission, as you said, you use the word mission in your introduction, that this is what is our common purpose, common mission. So I think this is the biggest achievement as a homeopath, that we have this possibility to connect the teachings of George with everybody around the world.
Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you again for this great answer. Here, I would like to make a little stop for saying the names of all the people that is sending you their love. And Dr. Nature Chida, hello, Dr.
I love them
Christina.
always. Thank you.
There are some names that I don't know how to pronounce them because they are very difficult for me.
No,
But
but it doesn't matter. The pronunciation doesn't matter. It's the feelings
it,
that matter. Yes.
exactly. Dr. Shrita, Almantina, Ashwini, Marina, and Damien Gauter, Javin, Fushun, Minkari, Niha, Natalia Orsina. Hello, dear Natalia. Thank you for being here. Mariana, Mariana Carmen, Edipser. Dear Maria says, hello, dear friends. Hello, dear Fair and Latika. Thank you very much, dear Maria. Dr. Pramut, Paloma, Almantina, Dr. Manrata, Paloma again, Victor, Dr. Sarita. There are a lot of comments of love for you, and I am very happy that they are sharing their love with you. As I told you, I was very excited for this interview because we received several messages, and the people was sharing this interview, and the people was like, "Whoa, I love her!" And
I, what can I say? I am so touched. I'm so really. I'll get emotional. So, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. I I am really blessed to get all this love. I will again say, only because of George, only because of him.
Uh, I think that you deserve all this love because when you receive so much love from the people, is because you have worked on it. So I am very happy that you received this gift of love from the people. And well, thank you to all for all your comments. I am very happy also. I am also excited for Latika for all the comments that she is receiving, and we can continue
Yes.
with this interview. We would love for you to hear about a case that has represented an experience of great growth, satisfaction, and joy for you. I think that as homeopaths, we can have many cases that are like very strong, very emotional for us. What case could you share with us?
Oh, there are, as you very correctly said, very true. There are many cases, because every time you see these miracles, this magic happening, you feel so joyful and satisfied. But something very personal, one, there are many actually, but one personal experience which is coming to my mind is of my son,
Okay.
Kush. He was when he suffered from typhoid fever.
Okay.
So this was when he was around 3 to 4 years old, and we were also, very new to homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
We were learning,
Mm-hmm.
and still learning. Of course, we are learning now also, but at that time, these are the initial years, and he suffered from typhoid, very high fever. And we were giving him remedies with no success.
Mm-hmm.
And the fever was rising, as we know that typhoid is a step ladder type of fever. So the fever was rising every day, and reaching above 40. He was getting delirious, he was talking, and so we got really scared.
Mm-hmm.
And and due to all the pressures from the family and everything, we decided to admit him to the hospital because we could
Mm-hmm.
not help him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because he was not eating and we needed hospital support, and so, while we were at that time, I remember there were 3 4 more kids who were admitted at the same time when we admitted our son in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And um, so the doctor said that we will have to give him 2 intravenous antibiotics together with all other medications. So we had no option but to start with that. But again, something very beautiful happened. We
Mm-hmm.
had this, we were fortunate to contact Professor Vithoulkas at that time. And first, he prescribed gelsemium for him,
Okay. Okay.
with which he started feeling some improvement. But the next day, again, the fever rose, and his extremities got cold, and he was again very delirious, talking in his sleep. And at that time, he asked us to give belladonna. You
Mm-hmm.
see, when we were suffering, our minds also stopped working. And it was with his blessing of Professor Vithoulkas that we could manage. So even though we were in hospital, we decided not to give him antibiotics. And maybe I should not speak at this platform, but I want to basically, that what happened, that when the nurse, the sister,
Mm-hmm.
who used to put antibiotics intravenously in the tube,
Mm-hmm.
she would leave the room. We would immediately take out the tube and drain the antibiotic in the dustbin. And we kept on continuing giving homeopathy as George was helping us in this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we started giving him belladonna 200 every 15 minutes, as he said.
Uh-huh.
And so this was the second day in the hospital, and something beautiful happened with 2 doses. Suddenly the fever dropped. He got up from the bed, he asked for food, and it was like magic. You see, it opened our eyes, it
Yes.
shook us. Because why I'm putting so emotions in this, because we were suffering, you see, at that time. And the more you see with your own eyes the effect of homeopathy, you believe it.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
becomes complete. So the second day in the evening, we came out of the hospital, because and we asked for the discharge. And he was
Mm-hmm.
the first kid out of all those 4 who was out of the hospital. So this is one case which really I wanted to share, because
Mm-hmm.
uh, this is my personal experience. And
Yes.
one more case, if you allow me, that one
Sure.
is, so this is being published in one of the journal. And this is a case of heterotrophic ossification, where this little girl had calcification of on the
Mm-hmm.
muscles and the skin. So
Okay.
it was a very painful situation, and the parents had shown it to different allopaths as well as homeopaths.
Mm-hmm.
But the child was in great pain. Her whole, this arm was in a, like in a contracture. It was
Mm-hmm.
very painful condition. She would cry every night. So when we started homeopathy, slowly we could bring her to stop all the calcification process. There were no nodules of these bony structures, they stopped appearing. And then the old nodules, the old calcified material started discharging through the skin.
Wow.
And it was so beautiful. The whole arm, which was
Yes.
contracted and there was no release, she could not, she was like a, it was like a handicapped situation.
Wow.
So it
Wow.
slowly it opened, and mm, everything became normal, and now the child is cured and she's living a very
Good
beautiful life.
life.
So yeah, so
Great.
as as Professor Vithoulkas says, that correct sequence of remedies will bring the real miracle.
Yes, yes, I remember that I read that case,
Yes.
and I remember also that Dr. Sima Mahesh once said in a interview that you can see the lobe of herring in the chronic cases, but when you see this low and when you see this effect of homeopathy really in the real difficult cases like this one, you I think that this is one of the best things that can happen you as homeopath, because you really get impressive, you really get the real power of homeopathy, right?
Yes, I think
Yes,
homeopathy has a great power, and the world still needs to know about it. It is
exactly.
yet to be surfaced and to be told, And I hope this channel, with Hulka's Homeopathic Community channel, and with your all of your efforts, will make this, awareness possible more and more.
Yes,
And we will
exactly.
reach to the whole world, because the idea is to bring so much benefit with peace and harmony to the world
Exactly.
with
Mhm.
homeopathy to alleviate all the suffering.
Yes, exactly. Also, you mentioned to dear Kush. I would like to send him a very warm greeting. I would like to send him a hug. He's the musician of
Yes.
this all this music. He is very talented. So I didn't want to go to the next question without saying hello. If you are there. See.
Thank you, for thank you. He You see, he's a child of homeopathy.
Yes,
He was conceived with homeopathy, I mean, with the, and then all along he has got homeopathy. So it's it's
yes,
a the health is of homeopathic children are very nice.
yes, exactly, exactly. He is very kind. He,
No, no.
well,
No, I think we can go to the next question. So
okay,
homeopathy can bring healthy children. So this is what the world should, because this is what we have experienced around and with personally also. So
exactly, exactly.
yes. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, so the next question is, what does it mean to you that young people decide to take the e-learning course?
As I said, that this is the mission of our lives. And because when we started at young age, we saw a complete change in our lives. So if they get connected to the teachings of Professor Vithulkas at young age, and they are not, uh, you know they don't get astray in towards the wrong path, because there is only one homeopathy, there is no other homeopathy. I would only say to the young student, whatever Hahnemann taught is being actually taught extensively and with more clarity in the teachings of Professor Vithulkas in the e-learning program. So I would request, and I would also say them that all the young students that start your journey at this age, you will be really benefited.
Yes,
Really, your lives will change completely as our lives have changed. And
yes,
you, fair, you are you are representing the younger generation, and you all have to carry this light forward. So it is very important to connect as early as possible
Yes,
at the right
exactly.
age. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes, as my personal experience, I could say exactly that if you are in contact with homeopathy since a very young age, it is impressive. It is great how your life changed, because I was 20 years old when I started to study homeopathy. I was studying
That's very
also.
nice.
Yes, I was studying also like you, another degree in the
Yeah.
university.
Yes.
Yeah, I was studying international relation and in the university. It is about politicians and politics and all these things.
Okay. Yeah.
But I remember that when I started to study homeopathy and started to see patients, this is really really great for your personal growth, for your spiritual growth, and I totally agree with you. It is great if you are in contact since a very young age,
When
from a
it
very
comes,
long.
yeah, when it comes from you, it is, when I hear such words from you, I really feel so happy that things, there is a hope in the world.
Thank you,
There is a
thank
hope.
you.
Yes, yes, because the world is in lot of suffering, as professor
Yes,
teaches us. And if young people like you will carry this flame forward, there is still a hope. Yes.
yes,
Homeopathy will not go into oblivion. It will continue. It will stay forever.
yes, exactly. Okay, so go to the next question. Um, this one is a very interesting question,
Yes.
and I would like to hear your answer eagerly.
Okay. Yes, yes,
So,
sure.
if you could ask a question to a classic homeopath who has already passed away, who
Okay.
would he or she be, and what would you ask him or her?
Okay. So this is a very interesting question. I never thought about it. But of course, the first one who comes to my mind is the father of homeopathy, Hahnemann.
Yes.
And I think that one question which I want to ask him is that how did he gather so much enthusiasm? You see, how how could, of course he was a genius. Uh, but how could he, because he was facing so many obstacles and struggle in his life, not only on professional front but also in his personal life. He had a big family, there were financial disturbances. How could he gather so much enthusiasm to persist and to give this world, this therapeutic science with which we all are benefited now? I really wanted to ask this question to him. And
Okay, okay.
I hope one day we will meet somewhere and we can ask.
Yes,
Yes.
it will be very, very interesting to know his answer.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to say hello to all the people who is and saying hello in the chat box, who is saying that we love you, we love you, dear.
Thank you. Thank you. I can only say thank you because otherwise, how will I express my feelings? I want to say I also love you all and I thank you. Yes.
Okay, if I read all the comments, I think that we will have all the the session in the comments, and I am very happy about that, because the people is very active in the chat. So we can continue with the next question about your favorite homeopathy book.
Oh, my favorite homeopathy books are all books of Professor Vithoulkas. This is such a natural and spontaneous answer from my side. But as my journey started again with science of homeopathy, So I would say that Science of Homeopathy remains my favorite book because Professor Vithoulkas explains here so clearly that homeopathy is a science which is based on certain laws. It is not something imagination, something not imaginative which is going on. And one has to really work hard and be dedicated to achieve results in this science.
Yes.
So every time I read this book, I find and I learn something new. This is so obvious because Professor Vithoulkas, I mean, so many years of experience of Professor Vithoulkas
Mhm.
comes in his books. So how can you grasp in just one reading? So every time I read this book, I learn so much, so many new things.
Yes.
I come across another point, oh yes, I read this, but I did not grasp it before, absorb it.
Mhm.
For example, I'm remembering now this chapter of homeopathy in dying patients, which
Uh-huh.
is a very interesting, where he explains so beautifully that when the person dies and this, take this transit, this next his journey goes to another world, homeopathy is the only science which, or I would say one of the science which has an ability of the dying patient person to leave this world with full awareness, not
Yes.
like a vegetable. You see, full awareness of what he did in his life, what all, and also, of course, of without any suffering. Homeopathy
Yes.
helps to take away the suffering, and most important is when he dies in peace with full awareness,
Yeah.
and we have seen this
Mhm.
really. So Science of Homeopathy is my favorite book. Yes.
Okay, okay, yes, yes, I'm totally agree with you. This is the first book that I also read about
Yes.
homeopathy. And as you say, is when I remember when I read that book, and I remember that I was like in a kind of a very confused moment in my life. I had to stop the degree that I was studying because I wasn't happy. So
Yes.
I remember that this book was like open my mind, like blow, and it was very interesting for me read about this spiritual connection, the science of homeopathy, really like a science, not just like in Mexico we use like these little pieces of sugar, and the people make jokes about the little pieces of sugar, and the drops. We usually use drops that has
Yeah.
a kind of sugar. And when you read the book as a science, is like it is great. It is wonderful for your mind and for your personal growth also. So
All credit goes to our teacher, our beloved
exactly,
teacher, who
exactly,
has really laid down the foundation so clearly for all of us that nobody can believe that these little sugar pills, you know, can
exactly.
can
Can
transform. Yes, can has the ability to transform lives of people.
exactly.
Yes.
Totally agree. Exactly.
And it's a science, and that is why I say that homeopathy is a science. It's not something on which we are imagining, and we are just ideas. They are rules which have to be followed.
Exactly. 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 So the next question is, your practice changed after your studies with the IACH?
Oh yes.
Okay. And
As a yes, yes, please continue. Yes.
okay. So how this appear in the comments of your patients?
So my first, I would say that it I was in darkness, as I said before, and
Uh-huh.
I think that ISCH is one institute which has the caliber of great universities,
Yes.
like Oxford, Cambridge. You see, I compare
Yes.
it with these universities because such is the highest standard and the quality of teachings of our teacher.
Yes.
So every student, I feel, that who is choosing, wants to choose field of homeopathy
Mhm.
as his or her career, should choose ISCH, because this is the institute which will give you all.
Exactly.
Whatever you will read in theory, you will see in practice. Exactly what you
Exactly.
read in books, you will
Hmm.
see there. So ISCH has changed everything. Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Thank you. I agree with you also. It
And
is. Sorry.
yes. No,
Yes.
no, it's okay. Yes, please say. Yes.
Okay. I remember also when I started to study with IACH, and as you say, is like you have a kind of knowledge, right? When you, if you study homeopathy or medicine in the university, you have a kind of knowledge. But when you start to study with AACH, it's like everything is clear, right? It's like now I understand that the professor in my university was like telling me that, but I wasn't ready for for understand that. And when you learn from the professor Vithoulkas, it's like everything clear, like your mind is clear. And I think that is because his mind is clear also, and that is
Yes.
why we can learn a lot from him.
So we can put one object crystal clear. Yes. Yes.
Exactly, exactly.
And logical. Yes, yes.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
how does this appear in the comments of your patients when you started?
Patients, yes, of course, they are, whenever they are cured, they are full of thanks. First they don't believe, but then they start believing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they start referring to more patients. This is how the chain continues. You see, the most important is that the trust and confidence which they show you, that
Exactly.
makes you even work more harder. and
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly your life changes, and you prioritize helping patient as, topmost in your life.
Yes, yes.
Slowly we are learning, and this experience increases, and patients are helped, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
and this confidence of your patients in your work, I think that well, as homeopaths is everything, right? It's like they believe in you
Yeah.
because you have the knowledge, right? So yes, the next
This.
question.
Yeah. Okay, please. Yes, please. Please continue. Yes.
Okay, based on your experience, what advice would you give to those who are starting to study the e-learning program?
Ah, see, firstly, I would like to congratulate them that they have
Okay.
taken the right decision of joining the e-learning course of International Academy of Classical Homeopathy.
Mhm.
And then, as a beginner, as they are starting their studies, I would like to stress on two major points. First, all the subjects are important, of course, theory, materia medica, repertory, everything. But theory is the base. And I would like to go with the theory subject slowly
Mhm.
and repeatedly. You
Okay.
see, so while they are studying materia medica and repertory, they should continue with theory modules slowly, so that they understand clearly every aspect, all the
Mhm.
principles, all the laws, you know, because you see, anybody can read materia medica and prescribe the first remedy. That
Mhm.
is still easy. But
Mhm.
what happens after the first remedy is what is becomes very important. So
Mhm.
in homeopathy we say second prescription.
Mhm.
So theory is something which should be really stressed upon while they
Mhm.
start their studies, and they should be very, very careful and very slow in studying, not to, just take
Yes.
it as it is coming, meditate, and because
Uh-huh.
from there they will have a real jump in their
Yes. Yes.
education. Yes.
Try to assimilate the information and yes,
Yes, because from there there will be no mistakes. You see,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
what have to be done after we have prescribed the correct remedy,
Mm-hmm.
or a wrong remedy, or a close remedy. Also, the second point which I want to stress here is the live case taking,
Mm-hmm.
which is included in the case studies modules of the
Mm-hmm.
e-learning course, where Professor Vithoulkas takes case live in front of the whole class. So the students should, you know emphasize on the questions which
Mm-hmm.
professor is asking,
Mm-hmm.
so that they actually starts developing his thinking process.
Okay. Okay.
And in this way they will understand the case taking as well as
Mm-hmm.
where the case is going. So this part of case studies module is very, very, very important as well,
Okay. Okay.
because this is actually the practical application of the theory.
Yes, yes, I would love to hear these advices when I started to study the e-learning program. So, to all the people that is watching us, well, you have these great advices.
Yes.
And also, I would like to congratulate you because in the social media, sometimes I opened this box of questions about remedies. I love to do this kind of dynamics so the people can be interacting and can be aware of their
Yes.
knowledge about
Knowledge.
homeopathy. Mhm.
Yeah.
If they get good points, well, you are learning. If they do not get any point with the questions, well, I recommend them to take the learning course. And I remember that when I started to do these dynamics and open these questions in Instagram, I remember that I put some questions about very weird remedies, and the only people that got the right answer, the only people that was
They
okay,
were.
they were your students. So yeah, that is why I become in contact with some of them. And I remember that even if I put them in Spanish, some of them translate them to English language. So
Oh,
and they put the right questions. And I was very happy about that because the people were interacting. And I would like to congratulate you because I know that you are a great teacher also.
no, I and my husband are working together, firstly, and he is much, I think I must say, is more able than me. But yes, our students, the best is that we could pass that information to him, to them, and
Mm-hmm.
that is why we see very successful results in their practice
Yes,
as well.
yes,
And
exactly.
so, we feel very satisfied, of course, very, very
Yes,
satisfied. Yes.
yes. Maybe one day I will travel to India to to be your student also.
Oh, we all are student of one teacher, actually, I must say
Yes,
here. Yes.
yes,
So,
yes,
so we are like a family now. So, friends and
yes.
family. Yes.
Okay. The next question is, do you remember a question from a student that you could not answer?
Oh, yes. Why not? There are many questions which I cannot answer. You see, I am also learning every day. I see myself as a student,
Uh-huh.
and all of you, everyone, as I said just now, we have one teacher, and we all are friends and colleagues together. So
Mhm.
there are sometimes questions, but I am very, very blessed again, and very fortunate that I whenever I get a difficult question which I'm not able to answer at forum,
Uh-huh.
of e-learning, I send it across to Professor Vithoulkas,
Uh-huh.
and and he answers that questions for us. And I write at the forum that here it is directly from Professor Vithoulkas, so everybody is so happy, and the students
Yes.
especially.
Yes.
So, we have learned from our teacher that always accept the mistake. If we have,
Yes.
and we should have this confidence to say, I don't know. It's not, it's so natural, you know. We are
Yes.
learning every day. So, there is not
Yeah.
one question I can say. There are
That's
multiple
all.
questions.
I think that is one of the best things about homeopathy, or one of the blessings about homeopathy, that you never stop learning. You will keep, as Professor Vitulka says, you are going to be learning like until your
Last breath of your
last
life.
breath of your
Of
life.
your life.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that that is great, because you have this mission, and you are always like in that open situation of keep learning, and I
Yes.
think that that is great.
So your life is never boring, yes? You are full of.
Exactly. Exactly. And also you need to be very humble in order
Yeah.
to
You
can.
become humble automatically because
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
once you know that you don't know, then
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly.
So we all are learning together, and this is how we should proceed. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. What does the e-learning program represents for you?
Oh, e-learning program is a complete program, I must say, and it is a life changing program. In two words, I would say this, that it is a complete program and it is a life changing program.
Mm-hmm.
But just give me 2 minutes more to hear, because now I have opportunity to explain the
Okay.
structure of the e-learning program,
Sure.
how well it is prepared. You see, first, one day I was telling the director of the academy, Maria, that
Mm-hmm.
I want millions of people to join e-learning. You see, not only medicos, you see, many people should join, because it changes your life. It's something which you
Yes.
cannot explain. You have to really go through it to experience it, to feel what is this e-learning program.
Yes.
So, to just make you know the structure, for the people who don't know, is
Mm-hmm.
that we have, it is very well organized. It is with two theory modules where we learn about theoretical aspects. Then we have materia medica module, where we are taught more than 150 plus remedies are there, where you listen directly the experience of Professor Vithoulkas with respect to the remedies and the differentiation.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a repertorization module, and then there are these case taking module, where where Professor Vithoulkas takes case live, and not
Mm-hmm.
only shows the first case, but he shows the long term management by showing the follow ups stretched over so many years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a highlight of a course.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have completed the course,
Mm-hmm.
the students are asked to submit 10 cured cases at the platform
Mm-hmm.
under the supervision of the moderator. And these 10 cases which they submit actually then give them the confidence to start their practice. So
Yes.
it is very, very well organized and well planned. While they are studying, they can ask questions from their respective moderators at the forum, and uh, there is no missing, part anywhere, I would say, in
Yes.
this e-learning program. And it has been very well structured, and people love it. You see, if you read the testimonials at the website, you will
Mm-hmm.
come to know how much e-learning program has benefited all
Yes.
this, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
Yes.
my request to everyone to join the e-learning program. Everybody, yes.
Yes, me too, me too. In fact, I would like to say hello to the people that is saying thank you for dear Dr. Latika and Dr. Atul. They say that are grateful and thank you to you both always. In the comments, I am reading the comment of Bharat Gruber. I don't know if my pronunciation of the Indian names are okay.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's Bharat Grover. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
The Dr. Saurabh says e-learning program changed my life. Thank you, Professor, for your teachings through e-learning program. Comments about love. Dr. Akash says a standard of teachings of IACH is really so high and creative. Also, some comments in Spanish that says Ana Veronica says that also thank you to Dr. Latika. She's a doctor with a very kind soul and she's very uh, lovely. She is a moderator of the webinars of our dear AACH. And well, a lot of comments also from Dr. Pramod Lanki, Latika and Atul. Both are very enthusiastic couple, as like they are only made for spreading this Professor George teaching of classical homeopathy. And well, comments of love for you again.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, we continue with these interesting questions. This question is about practice homeopathy successfully, and it says, "What does it mean for you? Practice homeopathy successfully."
Practice homeopathy successfully.
Mm-hmm.
I would say when you see smile and happiness on your patient's face,
Mm-hmm.
then you feel, even one patient you see in a day, if you see that happiness on their faces, you really feel that you are practicing homeopathy in a correct way.
Exactly.
Of course, no success comes without failure. So without struggle, without failures. And I think we should share our failures also
Mm-hmm.
honestly, because
Yes.
it is not only good to share your success but also your
Exactly.
failures, as there is a learning in both.
Exactly.
both
Mm-hmm.
both you learn, both ways you learn. Yes, sometimes more actually with your failures. Yes.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. And after completing the e-learning course, have you seen that students are able to practice homeopathy successfully?
Oh, yes, because as I said, it's a complete program and
Mm-hmm.
it develops confidence in the students. So, and you will not believe when I see their case submissions as a moderator, I
Yes,
am so happy and proud. They present such impressive cases and such beautiful results after this course finishing, which clearly proves, that the course
exactly.
is helping them.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
myself learned so much with their cases. It's a learning process. We all are together learning. When this is the proof, you see, that is why I say that this gives so much confidence in the patients,
Mm-hmm.
in the students.
In the
Sorry. Yeah.
students, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost one question that I think that it is very interesting also. And it says, how do you feel when you see your students finish the e-learning program?
Uh, when I see diploma in their hands and when I see happiness on their faces,
Yes,
what can you feel? You will feel it's a joy, it's
yes.
satisfaction. And so, and one thing I want to say here, that when what I see most important is that I see in their eyes and heart
Mm-hmm.
so much love for George. who
Yes.
I have never seen a teacher, in my life who could
Yes.
generate, who could
Exactly.
generate so much love. And their
Yes.
keenness, to go and visit him for just one time in Alone's house to meet him.
Yes.
So when I see this love in their eyes, then I feel, yes, that our purpose is getting fulfilled. Yes.
Yes, yes, I agree with you also. Well, I have never seen also a professor that has been so
Yes.
much loved as the Professor Vithoulkas. And when you see this in the webinars and when you see this like in the comments, you well, I remember that I was thinking that he has like worked a lot for make this in the people to generate this in the people, because as I told you in the beginning of this interview, from the people that is sharing their love with you, I think that you have to work with really with your soul and with really with your heart in this mission and in this mission of your life, that for generates this kind of reaction in the people. And I think that it is a blessing for all of us that we can learn from the professor and that we can keep studying from with him and learning from him.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, that's absolutely fine. I think this humility and
Mm-hmm.
this love we have all learned from our teacher. And
Yes.
in his teachings, it's not only homeopathy, it's so many other teachings of life.
Yes.
And every student says this. How is it possible that every student who is learning sincerely says these lines? So, this
Yes,
is the
exactly.
impact of our teacher, yes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you think that the levels of health theory change your practice?
Oh, definitely, definitely. It has, you see, because levels of health theory makes us understand the real prognosis
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a much better way.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this theory teaches us clearly that why one case is easy to cure. I mean, it is very easy to cure. You see the remedy, one remedy, and everything is cured. But with in another case, with the same diagnosis, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes very difficult.
Yes.
So this comes from this theory of levels of health, and this is the reason that we should never claim as homeopaths that we can cure every disease. Levels of
Yes.
health theory teaches this also. And
Mm-hmm.
also I want to say here that Professor Vithoulkas should be bestowed as well as awarded Nobel Prize, you see, for these two groundbreaking theories, levels of health and continuum of unified theory of diseases.
Yes. I
Because
totally
it will,
agree.
yeah, it will benefit the whole
Mm-hmm.
world. It will change how you look at health and how you look at disease.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think this is a very important and a big contribution.
Yes.
My,
And when you start to talk about the levels of health theory with some physicians or with people that is involved in the healthcare area,
yeah,
you can realize that it is very interesting for them also, and they are like, oh my god, I have never seen the things like that. Right? So I think that these kind of things are the one that should be also teach or taught in the universities for the physicians and for all the healthcare areas,
yeah.
because it is really it has a lot to give to the humanity.
Yes, and that is why it is already, the e-learning course is already being accepted by more
Yes.
than 10 medical universities around the world and
Mm-hmm.
as a postgraduate course.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
levels of health theory and the entire program
Mm-hmm.
clarifies so many aspects of health.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So, two more questions, and then we can go to the questions of the people.
Okay.
For you, if you agree, if you have some more minutes.
Sure.
Okay. So, we, the young homeopaths, usually hear about Vithoulkas approach X or about Vithoulkas approach or X approach or SIDA approach. And do you consider that are there specific approaches in homeopathy?
Uh, no. My answer is no, because I think there is only one approach, and
Mm-hmm.
that is classical Hahnemannian approach.
Homeopathy.
There is
Mm-hmm.
no other
Yes.
approach, and this is what professor is teaching us, where
Mm-hmm.
you have to take the whole case and then understand what is the center of gravity of that
Yes.
case, and
Yes.
then act accordingly. So there is no other approach according to me. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And finally, how would you define classical homeopathy?
Classical homeopathy is homeopathy,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and then it gives, because it gives complete importance to the principles, the
Mm-hmm.
rules which are laid down in the organon by Hahnemann.
Mm-hmm.
For example, all the laws, whether it is giving single remedy at a time, giving in minute doses, taking the individualized approach. So this is classical homeopathy. There is no other homeopathy. This is homeopathy, or what do you say, classical homeopathy? It's the same word.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes many people ask, how should we find classical homeopath, because they hear this word repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, to them I want to say that, to general people, I mean, the homeopath, how to judge, you see, who is a classical
Mm-hmm.
homeopath, is one parameter is that if a homeopath is taking 1 hour, you see, and trying to gather all the information, and takes your case completely, and after that prescribe just one remedy for you, I
Mm-hmm.
think he or she is a classical homeopath, and he should be looked for, not others. Yes.
Yes, I totally agree with that, and I think that this is a very interesting question because sometimes you hear about other definitions, and I agree with you. I think that classical homeopathy is the same time talk about homeopathy
Yes.
is the only approach and is the only
Yeah.
way to define, right?
Whatever
Okay.
else is happening in the name of homeopathy is should not be called as homeopathy.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So here we have in the comments from Kush. He says mother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to invite to write on the chat box if someone has a question for her. Now that we have the opportunity to have have her here, so I received some questions also about how to enroll the e-learning program.
It's very easy.
Mhm,
You can visit the website
mhm,
www.vithoulkas.edu.gr,
mhm.
and you can go to contact us and write an email
Okay.
to the academy
Mhm.
at the rate vithulkas.com, or e-learning at the rate vithulkas.com, and you will get all the details. You will
Okay.
get the possibility to do a free trial,
Mhm.
and then you can enroll in for the course. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so before saying goodbye, I don't see some questions. I just see a lot of love for you. uh, thank you to dear Aparna, Pira Twats, Halak Monga. Thank you very much, Ana Veronica. Hola. Javin Sayed, Suleima, dear Kush also. There is hello, dear Alexandra Kulakova, who is also here with us.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
Thank you, Suleima. Thank you, Dr. Saraf, Akash, Dr. Ravi, Javin, Plenavita. Hello, dear Patricia.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Giovanelli from Mexico also, dear Andrea from Mexico. We have people from a lot of countries. So I will also, hello, Alexandra. Now I see your comments. She says, wonderful, dear friends. Thank you for your great efforts and dedication to homeopathy. Dr. Ashwini, I feel blessed to gain the learning program of Professor Vithoulkas. Many thanks to the Academy for giving all of us the opportunity to complete the course from distance. Okay, so I would like to really thank you, dear Latika, for this opportunity. I feel blessed for being able to talk with you today. You have shared a lot of interesting experiences, and you thank you for also filling us of these teachings. I know that you have a lot to give to the people, a lot of knowledge, a lot of love, and hope to see you soon again in this channel, to hope to see you next year in Alonisos. And thank you very much also to all of the people who join us from India, from all the other side of the world, because I am in the in the complete
Yes.
other side. Thank you very much, and I would like to end this broadcast with this love for you.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank you specially for because of your warm and friendly nature and
Thank you,
so kind aura, I would say, that
thank you.
I was so comfortable in talking and sharing my little experiences. Thank you so much, my dear friend. And thank you to our teacher and to Maria and to the whole
Yes.
team. And thank you all who took out their time to listen to what I wanted to share. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you also to dear Maria, who is watching us, to dear Professor. I am very happy for this project, and thank you for all her support. Thank you also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so see you on the next interview. Thank you very
Just
much.
I
Uh-huh.
just want to just something which I remembered is
Okay.
I once asked Professor Vithoulkas that
Uh-huh.
what is one advice you would say to your
Uh-huh.
students and to your so he said that follow your destiny and be
Yes.
patient with your patients. So
Yes.
this is one thing which I would like to end with, that Professor Vithoulkas helps you in bringing out a different person altogether with
Yes.
his teachings
Mm-hmm.
and knowledge and wisdom and experience.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for this
Thank
phrase
you.
also. Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you, everyone. So see you in the next interview. And thank you. See you soon. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye. Bye.
Thank you.